Let's go ahead, if you agree, with the panel of registered intermediaries in Spain, here, and its role in tokenization. Well, first of all, thank you very much for being here. Ana Benitez, partner at FinReg, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Delighted to be here.
Ángel Luis Quesada, CEO and co-founder of Onyze, how are you?
Very well. As Ana said, delighted to be here, eager to share a bit.
And Alfonso Ayuso, with a functionality like this. Angel, from your perspective as a technology provider company and so on, having partnered with Usos Capital, how has this process been of adapting the processes, so to speak, to all this?
Let's see, in the case of Usos, I'm here on behalf of Onyze, but remember that together with Usos, we achieved the first here in Spain a few months ago at the end of last year. Going by dates, I think we submitted the file in February of last year, but the difference is exactly what Ayuso mentions. We were already working with a securities agency. This securities agency requested that functionality or capability to do digital custody, and the work is greatly reduced. There is no need to do all the work of requesting a securities agency license, but rather you just need to request that activity and be granted the capacity for this activity.
Because, did it already provide the service of
Custody? No, it requested both.
It wasn't even authorized for custody of non-tokenized financial instruments.
Exactly. It had to request everything there. The process, of course, is partially streamlined. We didn't intend to be, I always say the same, we didn't intend to be the first for this, but in the end, we did achieve it. We started in February, and if I'm not mistaken, we were granted in October of last year. And since then, issuing the process was faster, as we didn't have to do all the securities agency processes, which we were already doing, but simply had to explain the digital custody part and how we were going to interact, considering that there's Ursus, which is the entity, the securities agency, the entity that has that capability, and Onyze, which is the technological capability or provides the technological capability to the IRIT to carry out all this operation. The process was quite agile in that sense, considering the regulator's timelines, meaning, to give you an idea, we submitted in February. By July, we had the okay, and they gave us the license. The okay. From there, they started all the internal paperwork, elevated, etc., until we got the final okay with the license in October or November of the year, so consider the time frames.
I imagine that the next ones that come, which I imagine will be quite a few in the coming months, the process will be even more agile. I don't know how you see it.
I understand that. Yes, I understand that. Look, I repeat, we weren't going to be the first because there was already another entity that was working, had everything ready and had done the work. So they had done that training with the regulator. That's why for us it was more agile, because the regulator already knew, already understood, and we noticed a bit those inertias or those easier dynamics. That said, I understand that we have already been issuing with Usos since the end of last year. We already have 2 public ones. There are another 4 waiting for the regulator to give the go-ahead. We have about 20 issues in total in the portfolio, which gives us that experience to be able to say what is in the market. What we are mainly seeing in the market is real estate, a lot of real estate through those platforms. As Ayuso rightly says, there are many companies that want to do it right. There are crowd platforms that want to set this up in a tokenized way. It helps the issuer a lot, these tokenized issues. And the investor, so there are many entities out there. These entities until now were looking for the model to be able to do it. Now they can do it in a correct way, making a correct legal financial instrument. And hey, 100% valid there. You have models, or I go, as I said, to an already created infrastructure like a secondary, a primary where I set up my deployment. But many of these platforms need their infrastructure, their business model to regularize it in quotes and be able to do issues well. And that's when we are seeing that there is a lot of interest. And those companies are coming quite a bit to the Usos Onyze Duo to see how to integrate those projects with us. Then the other part, which is also what Alfonso was saying, the part of tokenized funds is starting to come, and this is important. We are even getting funds from outside Europe, Dubai, and others. They are asking, this interests me so much as to...
We could say that Spain could be some